super into all that kind of anime stuff, and pretty much, basically, that's led to awesome things in our life. Like, we've been able to rub shoulders with a few, like, real deal comic book industry people, which is cool, because that's an honor, too, through music, being a homeschool band from St. Joe, to be able to meet people. Like, I'll tell a really cool story. I did Third Men Podcast, and shout out to them for having me. Paul K., who actually works at DC Comics, he had us come down, and we did a tour of DC Comics, and it was, man, we got pictures and stuff. It's what a fucking dream come true to be able to walk through. We got to see, I don't know what they call them, I'm blanking, but like animation stills from Batman the Animated Series, framed from episodes, and you're like, the scene, fuck, and then like framed like episodes of like the main episodes, like the Grey Ghost and stuff like that. You see, it's like, this is my fucking childhood. And then we'd be talking, and I believe he's an editor there, and we were talking about Robin, which is our favorite character, and we were like talking shop about Robin, Nightwing, and Tim, and he was telling us about like the differences between Robin, Tim, Nightwing, and who's the other one, Jason Todd, and like what they are. And and as we were having the conversation, I was just like, we're not just some nerds in a room like we usually are. We're some nerds at DC Comics headquarters talking about characters that are really important to people like us, and it's people's jobs to write these stories. And I was just like, fuck, that was just a trippy moment. It was amazing. And then statues and like all the DC stuff.
Movie costumes and stuff. It's like, that was awesome. It was really cool.
Man of Steel costume. Fucking Batman Begins costume.
And they let us pick out like a bunch of like comics and stuff they have. And like
we literally got to just fucking get a box.
But it wasn't like, hey, pick a bunch of these new comics, and like there was a bunch of old stuff and new stuff. It was really,
we'll take a picture of some of the collection, because they have like an area where you can, if you're visiting and doing a walkthrough, you can kind of sample some comics, and it was great. And here's basically the same thing happened to us years back with Marvel Comics, back when Marvel was, what was the movie, it was during the Daredevil season 1 days, right?
Or I want to say it was season somewhere 2. After the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they were in their prime Marvel. So we were down there, and the vibe was so Hollywood, bro. Like, it was like, oh yeah, we're the kings. And they were just like, it was super fancy, and like, they let us have comics too. And what was funny was, apparently a lot of people who go there don't want comics. There's like, oh really, you guys want comics? Yes. And then there's like, man, usually like, no one wants comics. And we're just like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? So we took a fucking massive stack of comics, and it was a little bit like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, because there's these Iron Man armors like we couldn't take pictures of and shit, and it was just like, okay. And then, but here's the thing, like, it was just cool, but then like you go to DC and you can take pictures of everything, and then like DC, they used to be on top, and I think they're coming back. Like, the Joker was way better than anything Marvel's put out in a long time. So, and their vibe was just kind of like chill, like, we know how cool we are.
Yeah.
We know we've got Batman. That's, no matter what, Batman's cooler than any comic character. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, Marvel may have more amazing characters, but as far as, in my opinion, Batman's the coolest character ever. And then DC just knows that, and it was just a cool vibe, and you can take pictures.